Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the greatest recordings ever. And boy, are they the greatest. I mean, the greatest. Well, this one is certainly one of them. Here it is. It's Martha Argerich, Nelson Freire, Peter Sadlo, and Edgar Guggeis, Schlagzeug percussionists, in Bartók's Sonata for two pianos and percussion. And you also get fabulous arrangements for two pianos and percussion of Ravel's Mother Goose Suite and the Rapsodie Espagnole, both arranged by Peter Sadlo. Now, where do we begin? Well, the Bartók Sonata for two pianos and percussion is one of these screaming, shattering masterpieces of 20th century chamber music, one of Bartók's very greatest works. It's absolutely amazing and brilliant and fun to play and soulful and emotionally wide-ranging. It's really an extraordinary piece. You know, it begins with creepiness and then has a turbulent sonata form allegro, a central nocturne full of creepy night sounds, and then a folk dancey finale that ends quietly but with it's a wonderful ending. Bartók always had problems ending things, you may recall. I mean, the Concerto for Orchestra, he revised the ending. The Violin Concerto, he revised the ending. The first Piano Concerto, he had a problem stopping. This piece, no. He gets it all right because it never really stops. That's the beauty of the ending. It fades away into the distance and then goes running off. Stage left or right as the snare drummer goes to a beautiful, sweet chord, C major probably, I don't know, some major chord, resonating in the two pianos. Oh, it's just amazing. An amazing work. Now, Martha Argerich, who does the same thing over and over again endlessly, has recorded this several times. Her first recording with Stephen Bishop Kovacevic, or whatever his name was at the time he made the recording, was very, very good. It was on Philips. Really, really first-rate performance. The percussion playing wasn't as interesting or successful as here. Because you have to remember, it's the sonata for two pianos and percussion, and the percussionists are just as important as the two pianos, and people don't usually talk about them. But there are all kinds of things that can go wrong with the percussion parts. You've got to have timpani that are not too hollow and plummy sounding, and you've got to have a tam-tam that can really add some color to the proceedings. Usually you don't hear it at all. You hear it beautifully here. And in fact, speaking of which, I just have to say, Peter Sadlo was one of the great percussionists of the 20th century and a terrific guy. And I knew him, and I met him a few times. And I asked him, what did they use in this particular recording? Because I said, it really sounds great. I mean, you didn't use your usual, like, Wuhan or Paista, or whatever it was. I said, it's a different instrument. It really is. One that you chose specially. And he said to me, yeah, he said, we chose it specially. I don't remember which one it was, but they did. So, I mean, that's the point, and it really tells. And you've got to have a xylophonist who is really, a xylophone is effectively a keyboard instrument that you play with two mallets. So they've got to be really, really good. Snare drums with and without snares, and you're whacking different drums at different times. I mean, it's really an extraordinary piece for that reason. So anyway, we're talking about Martha Argerich. Okay, so she did it with Stephen Bishop Kovacevic. She also did a later one with Daniel Barenboim that just sucks. It's awful. It's sluggish and soft-edged and fuzzy and everything this piece should not be. And then this one, which is the one, because you've got Nelson Freire, who's just extraordinary. I mean, he's as good as she is. And they made a wonderful partnership. They did a bunch of duo piano recordings, and they just knocked the socks off the piece. But just as much fun are the Ravel arrangements. I happen to like this arrangement of the Rapsodie Espagnole better than the original, because I think the piece benefits from the hard edge that having just pianos and percussion give it, and you can really make the rhythmic element tell. See, the problem with the Rapsodie Espagnole is it kind of just lays there until you get to the last movement, and then it all explodes. But here, I think you just get more sort of rhythmic variety. It's not as coloristically glamorous, of course. And, the strings do make that prelude, in the night a little bit more, spooky nocturnally, but well, what the hell. And the Mother Goose stuff sounds just wonderful with the percussion part stuck in. That's originally written for two pianos. You don't have to do anything. You just have to put the piano parts in that Ravel added when he orchestrated it for the suites. And you get absolutely wonderful sonorities and fantastic playing and a unique coupling, an absolutely unique program for the entire disc. And that makes this, hands down, one of the very greatest recordings ever. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.